It was elevated.
We good to go? Yep, good to go.
The heart rate was elevated for a fair portion of that match. Start certainly didn't go to plan, and then we got ourselves back into the contest with some really good style and system and effort, and then in the last quarter, in the first 5 minutes, the scoreboard pressure came on, and in the end we just clung on. It wasn't very impressive.
Can you give us the PG version of your quarter time spray?
The PG version would say, "Please try harder." That's what the PG version would say. We didn't have our heads in the game in that first term for whatever reason, and in full credit to the Tigers, I thought they were fantastic. They came with a real plan and executed really well, and we just sat on our heels and let them do it. So, yeah, please try harder was effectively what I was trying to say.
Petrevski-Seton seemed to be a catalyst for the turnaround, 2 crucial goals when you really need them. How did you see her going?
Not as prolific as previous weeks, I wouldn't have thought, but those second quarter goals were very, very handy. And I thought she and Taylor in that second term turned things around for us. Like Taylor had a big hit on the ground level half forward here, which ended up with Mad's second goal, I think. And she played big. She took marks down the line for us. She threw herself into the contest physical. I thought those two probably in the second term turned things around for us, and it was great to see Tay be able to do that. We know Mads is more than capable any given week, but goal kicking's a nice thing to have on her resume as well the last couple of weeks.
And a bit of physicality, like her hit on Sarah Hosking, it seemed to almost change the momentum of the game. Did you see that way? Because Richmond were on top until that point, and then when Sarah were off, the Blues sort of seemed to take advantage.
Well, just remind me of the hit.
It was more of a sort of spear tacklish sort of.
Oh yeah, that's the tackle here, was it?
Yeah.
No, see, I must admit, we saw that in the box and thought that was a tackle with momentum, and there was nothing wrong with that tackle. So we were quite annoyed at the free kick, I must admit.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it up close. I'm just seeing it from the coach's box, but we didn't have too many problems with the way it was handled from Mads' end.
Yeah, no, but the question is, I guess, because that led to Sarah being concussion tested, so her physicality, it ended up, I guess, being a bonus for you guys because the Tigers were without one of their players for a while. So.
Well, Mads is a bull.
Yeah.
She cops a fair bit every week. In fact, she cops more than she gives. Unfortunately, we don't get a lot of support for her from the fraternity, but she's a physical player. She's a real grunt player, and that's part of her makeup. That's why she's so good, because she competes so physically, so hard, and then can finish on the outside as well. So she's got a lot to give.
So no concerns about.
This will be the last question.
Not for us, for you guys maybe. Yeah. So any concerns from a tribunal perspective?
No, I wouldn't think so. Sarah came back on, didn't she? Didn't interview at half time, so
yeah.
She's fairly lucid, I would have thought.
Yeah. Darcy Vessia, I think that was probably. Would you agree that was the best game for the year,
No
especially
doubt.
that third quarter, like when the game was up for grabs, 3 goals.
Yeah, she should have kicked 2 in the first quarter. So she should have had 5 to 3/4 time the way she was going. It's been coming for Darcy. She hasn't got reward on the scoreboard, but her effort around the ground through the last couple of weeks has been really strong. Haven't seen a huge number of disposals for her, but she's working her backside off. Some days it goes your way, some days it doesn't from a scoreboard perspective, but she got her lick of the ice cream today, and it was pretty tasty, I think.
Do you feel like you're close to your best? Do you feel like you've reached what you can best?
No, we're nowhere near our best from what I've seen. We had a really positive step forward last week, I thought, against the Saints, and then if you come out and play that first quarter like we did, I mean, that's not who we are as far as I'm concerned. So we're a long way from our best. So that's a positive. Holding on for a win is a positive, but there's still plenty of work to do for us.
More broadly, as like take your Carlton hat off and more the women's game perspective, it was a pretty entertaining game. How do you sort of see that in terms of the promotion of the sport going forward?
I must admit, during game, I don't really care how it looks. I'm more concerned about what we're doing and what they're doing and how we try and stop that.
Fair enough.
But I do think that if it is it's nice to hear that it was an entertaining game for the fans, because we want to grow the game, we want to grow the audience. It is a league that's developing really quickly, and we want to promote it. I want to be a part of that. So that's a good thing. But in terms of my point, I've got no interest in the game until it's after.
And from an injuries perspective, anything?
We're going to go, do we?
Injury perspective, anything to report about?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not
that I'm aware of. I haven't spoken to anyone, I must admit, but I haven't done anything.
No worries. On your half.
Thanks, Arthur.
Thank you, team.
Cheers.
Go